James K. Adams, Nate Burleson, Peter Schrager, Kyle Brandt, all here for Chargers and Raiders.
Right.
You ready?
Yeah. This is a good one. Let's go. I'm ready.
Let's go to Oakland.
Okay.
Lead block.
Lead block. Lead block.
Yeah, let's welcome in MJ Acosta. She's live with us this morning. Raiders wide receiver Tyrell Williams facing his former team. What kind of challenge does he have ahead of him? He's taking on his former teammates on defense tonight.
Well, okay, first I sort of want to set the scene for you here because I don't know if you can see the fog behind me, but it is dense. It is cold. I feel like the Autumn Wind is a Raider spoken word poem is about to come on at any minute, and that's exactly what it feels like leading up to this game. Tyrell Williams making sure he noted this week that he has a little extra juice going up against his former teammates. And what is he facing? Well, just a defense that is ranked in the top 10 in both total defense and scoring. They're also the 5th ranked defense against the pass. So this will be a challenge, and nobody is better equipped than Williams, who, by the way, went up against these guys for 4 years when he was part of the Chargers. Now, all of those memories will not mean a whole lot once the game kicks off here tonight, and he is on the home sideline here at the Coliseum. But Tyrell saying that he is ready to face these guys. He knows just how talented they are, despite whatever their record might say, and he's looking forward to having some friendly competition, talking a little trash out there. Something you wouldn't expect from a guy as even keeled as him, but again, extra juice for this divisional matchup tonight.
That's it. You're here on this call.
We have, of course, love that, and we love Josh Jacobs. MJ Nate in the last segment was comparing him to Oakland's own MC Hammer. He is leading all rookies in rushing yards. How is he doing this? Why is he so legit?
20 rushing with 2 TDs.
I see what you did there. Very well played. I mean, despite having unbelievable talent, toughness, grit, he also has a little lucky charm. Now, I don't know how much this plays into it, but you know that athletes can be very superstitious, and the number 8 symbolizes a lot for Josh Jacobs. He actually has a chain that he wears day and night. Doesn't matter what he's doing. He has it on. He says it does not come off. He got it just after he left college, so it was sort of symbolic for him going into the draft, where he was, of course, selected in the first round by the Raiders. Has not taken it off in this breakout rookie season. He says it's not coming off anytime soon. He will be wearing it tonight for the rest of the year and for the foreseeable future. It's something that's very, very close to him, that number 8, just really symbolic in his life, maybe attributed to some of his success, but I think that's all just natural talent, ability, and of course the work that he puts in to making sure he executes John Gruden's plan out there.
MJ, I know it's cold out there, but try to enjoy yourself tonight. It is the final primetime game to be played in the Coliseum. You are a part of history tonight on Thursday Night Football. But the Chargers fired up to set the record straight in the AFC West. The Raiders poised to defend their home turf tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern on NFL Network, on Fox, and streaming on Prime Video. It's Thursday. You know what time it is.
Gong time.
Throwdown Thursday.
Love this.
Chargers, bolt up. Raider Nation, they both have a stellar player at the running back position. So I'm just going to ask you, Peter Schrager, who would you rather have in your backfield? Melvin Gordon or Josh Jacobs?
Both very good. Melvin Gordon, the veteran, entering the final year of his contract here, finishing out the string with the Chargers. Then you got Jacobs, the first-round pick. I will take the rookie. Give me Josh Jacobs and the fresh legs. Has more rushing yards than Melvin Gordon. Has shown that he's done more this year. But I like his offensive line. I know that Trent Brown might not play tonight, but you can run anyone behind that offensive line, and I'm taking them over the opponent. This team is built on just bulk up front. Rodney Hudson, Gabe Jackson, Richie Incognito, Colton Miller might be the most improved second-year player in the league, and Josh Jacobs is the perfect back for it. So as much as I love Melvin Gordon, as much as I love what he did last week, I'll take the total body of work this season. Give me Josh Jacobs, who seems to be just hitting his stride.
Slightly distracted seeing a picture of the guy from I Heart Huckabees, but we'll get to that in a second. My head says Josh Jacobs. My heart says Melvin. I'm going to go with Melvin. I really am. I know Josh Jacobs has got it going on, and that's maybe the chalk pick. Melvin Gordon is now playing for his life, and I think he is extremely motivated. I think under the lights against the Raiders, Melvin, this could be the next 5 years of your life. This could be your career. Fresh legs, very determined. I think still one of the hardest running backs in all of the league. I'm going to go with Melvin in this one. And I think he's going to have a night tonight.
Yeah, I know Melvin set out, so we get that. And Straight, you mentioned it. Josh Jacobs has more rushing yards than Melvin Gordon. He doesn't just have more rushing yards than Melvin Gordon. He has more rushing yards than Melvin Gordon and Austin Eckler.
Combined.
Matter of fact, he has 6 touchdowns to that duo's 6 touchdowns. 740 rushing yards to that duo's 500 rushing yards. So for me, I'm going with the young running back as well. Josh Jacobs is a big part of this squad in this success.
I think we forget how the trade deadline's approach, though. 3 straight years with 12 or more touchdowns. That is not easy to do. I think we forget because of the holdout, and that was a little bit just not fun for any of us as fans. And then we forget because of the slow
last time I
start.
was in House Hall, it was late August, right before the season kicked off.
I think
guess what was on the
changed
TV?
the game. They started running more. I wouldn't be surprised if he runs it down their throats. Josh Jacobs would do the same thing on the other side. Is it going to be a close game, guys?
Hell yes.
Week 10.
Staying on the offensive side of things, both teams have a great pass catcher duo at their disposal as well. Nate, which duo needs to have a bigger night? Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, or your boy Ty Williams and Darren Waller?
Which duel needs to have a bigger night?
Yeah.
It's definitely Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, and more specifically Mike Williams. What duo do I feel like is going to have a better night? It's the Raiders, you know, and Darren Waller tips the scale for me. You know, I feel like Keenan Allen, I'll give him the edge over Tyrell Williams, and I know Tyrell Williams being somewhat of a little brother to him, he would too. But when it comes to Darren Waller, who is basically a big wide receiver at the tight end position, he's been more consistent to me, to my eye, than Mike Williams has within that offense. So who needs a bigger night? Chargers. Who will have a bigger night? The Raiders catchers.
I love the Tyrell Williams storyline, and MJ Acosta's been great on it all morning. But remember, this is a guy who was the 3rd wide receiver on the Chargers, hits the free agent market, gets a ton of money from the Raiders, thinking, I'm going to be the number 1. And then they go and make a trade for Antonio Brown, my buddy, who's still number 2. Guess what? He's been the number 1. The Antonio Brown situation is behind that wide receiver's room. I love Darren Waller's story because of what he's overcome with demons in his personal life, and our network has gone to great lengths to talk about that. We will throughout the day, I'm sure. And I promise you, Aaron or Christina Pink will have an update on Darren Waller and where he's come from. It's a wonderful story. But to me, Tyrell Williams' story is really cool. He's finally going up against his old team, the ones that said, yeah, we just can't pay you the money. I think he's going to have a huge day. I'll have more on that later on in the show. Okay. I'm going Tyrell and Darren Waller.
I'm going to go with the Raiders, too, because they don't have Phillip Rivers as their quarterback. I got to call timeout a couple hours into the show now. We have infomercial Derek Carr and the Raiders for 2 straight hours. I've done it myself. But still, there's still a lot to prove. Derek Carr is not Aaron Rodgers. You know, Peter talked earlier in the show about the play he made against the Packers, and he reached for the pylon, and Peter said it's a gutsy play. It's a terrible play. He blew the game.
Lost by 20 points.
Yeah, and he's made that play before. So, like, I'd love to see the Derek Carr kind of comeback story. But Phil Rivers is a warrior. He's going to show up. I know he is. I think Derek Carr is. So I think his receivers, his tight end, need to be better.
They need to be better. I do think that Keenan Allen has his first 100-yard game since week 3.
Okay.
He's not been there. This is a perfect opportunity on prime time to get that done against Oakland's defense. Let's finish it off with this really important one, guys. Oscar winner battle between L.A. and Oakland, repping the City of Angels, is the graduate himself, Mr. Dustin Hoffman. And for Oakland, it's Tom Hanks.
Okay.
So I would like to know, why do we always put people up against Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
This seems silly. Which Oscar-winning
Tom Hanks,
actor
Tom Brady.
has the better filmography, Dustin or Tom?
You know, I remember the last time this came up, it was Tom Hanks versus poor Mark Ruffalo,
That's just
who's had a great career.
This is
but
different.
it's UNC Asheville drawing Kentucky. I mean, it's not fair. At least with Hoffman, you got someone who can trade punches. But I look at it this way. Nate, you were right. Tom Hanks is Tom Brady. And I think Dustin Hoffman is like maybe a Warren Moon. Hall of Famer. Great guy. Very well respected. But he ain't the GOAT. And I think we can talk about all the highs. If you look at the lows, like even Hanks's lows, if you want to get into the Terminal and Larry Crown and stuff, he's not doing Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium. He's not doing Meet the Fockers, whatever that was. The lows are higher than they are with Hoffman's making movies for 50 years, but this is still Hanks in a runaway.
Have you...
A runaway. Bring me De Niro. Bring me Cruz.
De Niro's in more duds than anything. Cruz is in... Cruz has been in 11 movies the last 10 years. I don't know any of them. Give me The Graduate. Give me Midnight Midnight Cowboy.
Either.
Give me Kramer versus Kramer.
Okay.
Give me Tootsie.
Okay.
Are you kidding me? Tootsie's amazing.
Tootsie is pretty great.
Terry Garr's great. Tootsie.
Who doesn't
love it.
love Gar?
Stranger Than Fiction is amazing. And you know what? Meet the Fockers, that whole thing. He makes those movies. He sells them. He's great. I'm going Hoffman. Tom Hanks, you can have The Terminal.
Don't you think
Have you seen The Terminal?
He's sort of, yeah, he's in an airport.
Don't see The Terminal.
See, for me, because of the nature of what we do and what we talk about, if we're talking movies, I want to draw a common theme with somebody's songs.
Do it.
And if
Try it.
Tom Hanks movies can help tell a storyline in the NFL,
Let's go.
then I'm with it. So here's the thing. Listen, so many teams are trapped in money pits, right? Because they overpay for superstars. Seem like every team is playing Catch Me If You Can with the Patriots because they're in a league of their own.
No crime.
But I mean, Lamar Jackson, he made a splash by handing them their first loss. And Russell Wilson, he's never sleepless in Seattle. And plus the Chiefs getting Pat Mahomes back, oh, that's going to be big. Now, listen, I'm not trying to sully the hopes of the Eagles fans, but in Philadelphia, they're going to be walking the Green Mile home during the playoffs. And I'm not ready to cast away the Chargers because, you know, they got Captain Phillips. We're going to see him tonight. And by the way, Christian McCaffrey, he might be an MVP because he's running like Forrest
Hey,
Gump. That is. All right, there you go.
Very good. Very good.
Stop it.
Peter, you're still
Tom
going to go
Hanks,
for Hoffman? It's the most predictable thing in the show by far that you did for Hoffman.
Well, The Prince
I
of
knew,
Twin is a
I
pretty
knew
good
it was
movie.
going to happen.
One of the best movies ever. I don't
With
know.
Meet the, I thought it was a bulging disc situation. Good for you.
A bulging disc situation, Meet the
Yeah,
Fockers,
yeah,
yes.
don't
He
say
and
it again,
Barbara
he's scary.
Streisand, I think, are in the
They're
his
cute.
parents.
They're a cute on-screen couple.
Yeah.
We'll be
Outbreak,
back
right?
with
Mr.
more
Megorium,
football.
Wonder Emporium.
Mitch Trubisky doesn't want to watch our show.
Rain Man. Terrible movie.
Wasn't the Rain Man character just the lesser version of Forrest Gump?
He wins the award, not
Forrest Gump
Cruise.
won the award, too.
We'll keep the talk in the NFC and talk Cowboys. Are they